Coffee and dessert can be tough to juggle at a finger food reception. Here's a solution: espresso brownies. This recipe is so easy. Let me show you how I do it. 1/3 of a cup of water, and just to make it easier to pour, I'm gonna add the vegetable oil right into the water. We're gonna go to 2/3. Vegetable oil, not olive oil, because we're baking here. So, and see how easily it all slides out? Little tip. And then 2 eggs. I've just varied the instructions on the brownie mix box to make my own version. That way I can say, I made these brownies. No one needs to know that they're boxed. Just beat it all together. And there's no butter in here. We're saving the butter for the icing, where it should be. Okay, mixed all of that. Now, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of espresso powder. So let's get that in there. Just pour it right in. A little extra drops in, it's no big deal. And espresso powder is just coffee beans that are ground and then dried. It's actually ground, brewed, then dried, to be exact. And they give that wonderful strong coffee flavor, but they mix in really well because it's just like powder. And now, the brownie mix. And you could use any brownie mix you like, your favorite. Just throw that in there. And these are great because I make them ahead of time and then I just wrap them really well with plastic wrap and I leave them in the fridge. I can cut them up and so I can make it a week in advance or put them in sealable plastic bags and then nibble on them all week long. In the freezer even. Oh yeah, they last forever. I'm a big fan of these brownies. Okay, now, you just want to make sure you just mix it until it's all incorporated. But you don't want to overmix it because I still want to keep it light and fluffy. All right, we'll get all that off. That is for me later on. And then I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of chocolate chips, semi-sweet chocolate chips, because there's just not enough chocolate in here. Not for me anyway. Once you cut into these babies, it's one of those moments where you're oohing and eyeing, you close your eyes and you just think, this is heaven, truly heaven. Okay, mix those in. Now, I've already greased my pan, so we're just gonna pour the batter right in. I'm gonna pop these in a 350-degree oven for 35 minutes, and then I'm gonna let them cool. I'm gonna make the best glaze ever, espresso vanilla glaze, to go on top of these brownies. We are going to do 2 teaspoons of espresso, just to keep everybody awake. And this is ground. It dissolves very easily in the glaze. And I like to dissolve it in the water. Just makes it easier for the glaze. We'll pour that in our bowl. So strong. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, just to flavor it a little bit. There we go. And we are going to add a tablespoon of softened butter. And the butter just makes the glaze harden faster and it kind of gives it a little bit of thicker consistency. And we're gonna add powdered sugar. And we're just gonna mix that all together. It just takes a minute, and you definitely wanna use room temperature butter. And see, it just thickens it a little bit. And it gives it sort of that coffee color. Nice milk chocolatey brown color. Smells good. Get all of that sugar in there to sweeten up the glaze. And see, you can see how nice and thick that is. So now with a spatula, we are going to pour it, just like that, right over the brownies. See, just a nice finishing touch. And you just spread it all over the top of the brownies. And you want to make sure that the brownies are cooled before you add the glaze, otherwise it melts. There we go. Okay, we're gonna pop it in the fridge just so the glaze can set, and then it's time to party.